Today we're going to expose the real truth why Prismatic Evolutions is so expensive and why nobody is able to get their hands on it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. You're watching the channel Dr. Applesauce 2. My name's Will. It's another beautiful day here in Texas. I hope you guys know that I love you, God loves you, and that there is an awesome plan for your life. If you're like me, you're probably not the only person that's a little frustrated at how freaking expensive Prismatic Evolutions is. It's not even released yet. Why so many stores are saying our allocations are getting cut. We're not getting this. We're not getting that. It's impossible to find. It's a short printed set. It's not a short printed set. There seems to be a billion different explanations and excuses out there, but the cold hard facts are Prismatic Evolutions is $150 in ETB right now on pre-order, and there seems to be a massive demand and not enough supply, supposedly. We're going to lift the veil today on why this set is so hard to get your hands on, why so many stores are saying that their allocations are getting cut, what actually could be going on, and giving y'all a little bit of an insight access to what's going on at the distribution level from somebody that owns a store that sells millions and millions of dollars worth of Pokemon cards every year. Hey everybody, I am here with my friend Joey from Bhurst Collectors. He has a store, a local game store in Brooklyn. Am I right? In Brooklyn?
Yeah, Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, and so they sell Pokemon, Magic, all kinds of cards. They have gaming events and stuff like that. And I've known Joey for a good while, and we had a conversation earlier, and he has a little bit more information kind of to, like I said, lift the veil on what's going on from the distribution standpoint, and why certain stores seem like they're not, or indeed aren't getting much product. But there's other stores that are getting plenty of Prismatic Evolutions, and you don't really hear much from those stores. So we're hoping to give a little bit more insight to you guys, collectors, why we are where we are with Prismatic Evolutions and what's going on. So Joey, just tell everybody real quick who you are, your store, stuff like that. Give everybody a little introduction.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? Joey from Bhurst Collectors here, guys. I've been in business since 2020. It's been a while. Oh my God.
5 years.
Wow, I can't believe this went by that fast. So I've been doing business for 5 years. We're in the hobby. I've been in the hobby for over 20 years since I was a kid. Love what we do over here. Moving over to TikTok over the last year, we've definitely gained a lot more traction than in the past. We've been streaming for 4 years. I own a brick and mortar out here in Brooklyn, New York. And I contacted Doc about everything going on because I feel like there's a lot of misconception in the hobby right now where people don't know what to believe, and it's hard to get a shop to actually speak up and tell the truth. You have all different shops saying different information. No one knows what to believe. Is it short printed? Is it not short printed? Why stores got allocated? We do a lot of sales in a year. Right now on TikTok, we ended the year on 2.85 million.
Wow.
Sales, and that's not included like in-store sales and everything else. So
to be clear with everybody too, like you stream on TikTok, and I've been in your TikTok streams, but you're not doing auctions and stuff like that all the time. Like you just have stuff available for people to buy it now, and people can come buy stuff. And they'll buy a box or buy some packs.
It's like
and
a regular
open it
store.
from you.
You come and go into your LGS, you buy, no auction, no nothing. Come in, you buy. Whatever it is, you don't like the price, you don't got to buy. Move on. If you like it, come in, enjoy the vibes. Great time. We always have a great chat here. The mods always keep everything safe. Bunch of great people in here. We love everybody here.
So to preface for everybody, basically, and you know this, Joey, but what we've got going on with Prismatic Evolutions is we haven't seen this since the pandemic, where prices on pre-orders, or even celebrations, right? We're pre-order pricing for an ETB. I think celebrations got up to 200, and we're at about $150. Yeah, well, that's the number I remember is 200.
Do you remember the whole New York Comic Con shenanigans? No, pre-New York Comic Con shenanigans. It was on WN. I don't know. There was that whole thing. I think something got stolen. I don't remember the whole situation, but I remember being in that stream. And ETBs were almost like 300 to 400 in ETB. I remember
those little celebrations packs going for $100.
I forgot what it was. I forgot the whole situation on that.
Yeah, it was wild.
Something vaguely. I was like,
somebody got in trouble.
Yeah, someone got I remember that. I think the kid remember that whole thing? I think the guy got arrested. I forgot the whole situation.
There's been all kinds of craziness surrounding big Pokemon releases, but the point being, like, we haven't seen insanity like this since those times, as far as pricing, as far as demand. There's a lot of people that want this set due to, a surge in popularity from Pokemon Pocket. It's an evolution set, so there's obviously going to be some demand there. There are a lot more people that have distribution access than used to be, and just all of this combined together creates this perfect melting pot and storm for $150 ETBs. So you had some really interesting insight as to why we have certain stores saying allocations are getting cut, and it's not like they're lying, and also why certain stores aren't really saying anything, and then why many stores are selling above MSRP, and kind of I wouldn't say justification, but the explanation behind that, and why you can at least kind of understand why that's happening. Give us a little more insight into that, because it's more than just like, hey, this store is lying and they want to make a whole bunch of money, or this, everybody's just getting screwed from distribution. There's not enough product to go around. There's more to it. So give us a little more insight from somebody that like isn't just a collector or a YouTuber that's like actually actively spending millions of dollars with, all these card companies every year.
When we first got into this hobby, I'm going to go back to like the COVID era that we were just talking about. We started actually right before the COVID happened, but our account wasn't built enough, right? So when all this crazy stuff was going on, all this hot product was out, we weren't getting a lot. And back then it was always, well, you really didn't build your account yet. You really didn't take these bundles. You didn't help us out. We can't help you out when product is hot, because we don't know where you're going to be when it's not.
So what do you mean by, like, when you say you didn't take these? Basically, you're talking about product that like isn't going to sell very well, like theme decks and these things that don't have these big chases that people aren't super hyped to buy. Basically, products that are bricks, more or less.
Exactly. So going back, like it's like these big distros, Southern Hobby, PhD, Alliance. You're always going to have your rep call you up. And everyone knows every shop is about to start hysterical laughing right now. Call you up. I got a bundle for you, or an email that says bundle deal. And I look at it and I'm like, what am I in store for now, Southern? What am I in store for now, GTS? And I'll open it and you got my first battle decks, you got battle academies, and then you get a little sprinkle of like, but I got you with some Crown Zenith cases. I got you with some Paldean Fates. And like, you do the math and everything like that, and you're still kind of losing money, but you're able to break even.
So basically, what you're saying is, you're not, as a store, it's not always just buying booster boxes of the next hottest set. You get calls from the distributors and they're like, hey, we have these bundles that, we'd really like you to buy. Like, hey, we really would like you to buy these.
They don't force you to buy them. Remember,
right? So what happens if you do or don't? Like, one, if you buy that stuff, it's hard to sell, right? So you're likely taking a loss or sitting on product forever. What's the message behind them? Like, hey, buy this crappy product. Then what happens? And then like, are all stores buying it, or are some stores opting not to buy it? And explain that.
A lot of stores opt out to buy it.
Yeah.
You'll have a store who, I can't move it. I don't want it. All right. So then Southern Hobby goes to me. Hey, Joe, can you take X amount of bundles? Yo, I got you. Give me 200 bundles, right? Whatever it is, whatever the amount is. Then when a set like Prismatic comes out, they're like, you know what, Joe? I have it written down that he took every bundle this year, and he bought more. He helped our distribution out. You know what, Joe? You deserve more allocation because you helped our warehouse out. You helped us move product. You lost money. You intentionally, we knew it wasn't a good deal, but you helped us. Now it's time for us to help you. No matter how much you spend on main sets, 2,000 boxes of a main set, 1,000 boxes of a main set. Yes, it does factor into your allocation, but at the end of the day, that's product that's moving, and that's product that distros would have moved no matter what, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, when a hot set like Prismatic is, or an allocated set comes out, or whatever they're going to call it, they also look at a whole different Excel of, hey, guess what? Joe spent less than this person, but he also took every bundle I sent him this year and then some. He deserves more because he helped us out in a time of need.
Yeah.
And a lot of stores did not take their bundles. And I would love proof of stores who are saying they didn't get a lot. Show me you took every bundle that came out.
Yeah. So basically you're saying if you take the bad and you're a team player, so to speak, with the distribution, when stuff like this comes out, you're going to get a higher allocated number than somebody that's like, I can't sell that. No, I'm not buying it. You can't make me buy it, which they're not going to force you to buy it. And then when time comes around, they're like, hey, Jimbo's Pokemon card shop over here never took anything that we asked them to take. They only want the hyped sets. So they're going to get 10% of what they asked for. And then Bhurst Collectors over here has always purchased every bundle we've asked them to. They requested, X amount of ETBs, and we're going to give them 90% of what they requested, or 80% of what they requested.
Yeah, and it's also, you have the stores that only order on release day. What about all the months in between?
Yeah, they're only that's an interesting point. So you have stores that are only ordering the new releases.
Yep.
And then you have stores that are ordering multiple times to get multiple things, and also taking the orders when they're asked to take orders.
Yeah.
So what does that look like financially? Like, you don't have to give actual numbers, but like financially, say you take all 4 or 5 orders over a year that you're like, yeah, I'm going to take a bath on these. I'm not going to make a bunch of money. But then you have a set like Prismatic come out and you're like, okay, cool. I'm getting a decent amount of product, not doing anything shady. Like, you're losing money on these areas. Is something like this able to make up for it, to where it's not, so hurtful to the ROI over the rest of the year?
So this is a very interesting industry. This is an industry of knowledge and how long you've been in it. Pokemon has always had the roller coaster. You look at Pokemon, ups, downs, skyrocket, bubble, whatever else. You never know when it's coming. But when it comes, you better be prepared as a store, right? So years ago, I wasn't able to get into first bubble, but I kept up all these years later, always took the bundles, this and that. And now that we're back in this hype era, I don't have to worry about it no more. I put in my years, I put in my allocation. People who stopped over the years and magically show back up at distros, it's like, where you been for the last year? Where's your orders been for the last 2 years? You stopped ordering. You stopped ordering as much. And that's why when stuff like this happens, you get that heavy allocation issue. And it becomes a huge, huge issue.
Which is super interesting, because as you explained this to me, I can think of 3 or 4 big stores that are in my area where I live that are very well known. They have social media presences. They'll do breaks and stuff like that, but they also have physical, actual stores, big, legitimate stores. And they've been wholly silent this whole time. I've not seen or heard them say anything or give any opinions about any of this, or even really seen them put up pre-orders. And so you explain this to me, and it makes me think, it's like, oh, okay, well, these are stores that always have inventory, and it's not always the best inventory. So it makes I bet you they're also stores that just, hey, the distro's called, we're going to pick up this product. And they probably were able to get decent allocations because of their history, because of their purchase history, and buying the crappy product that other people don't want. And so you explain that, and I think about that, and I'm like, that would make sense why these stores that I know of in my area that are big stores that you guys would probably know if I said their names, aren't really saying anything about this. That does make sense.
You don't need to. It's like, I do it because I like to hear people like hate and comment. Love all of you so much. I love you all. I look for attention at this point. But realistically, it's like when you see 2 people arguing or someone trying to be loud at a bar and the one guy is quiet. He's not quiet because he can't do nothing. He's quiet because he knows what he's capable of.
Yeah.
It's like big stores. They're not all over the place. Oh, yo, 10,000 ETBs. I got them. What do you need? They're not flaunting it. They mind their business, do their business, move on.
They're not stacking their ETBs and making an ETB fortress in their house and taking videos.
China.
Taking videos of it.
I could have made the Great Wall of China outside our store, guys.
Hey, you did post a small little flex, just a picture flex. Hold it. Yeah, just a picture flex. But so I have two other points that I want you to address before we end our time together with everybody. And if you're watching, guys, drop a comment down below. What do you think about Joey's explanation about how some stores allocations are getting cut, and from his perspective, if you take the bad sets, usually when the good sets come around, you get taken better care of. I want to know what you think about that in the comments below. But two other points that I was curious about. What do you think this means, like in regards to people that are only streaming and or only having online stores? This is something that I'm curious. I want, because you explained it a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to clarify, because people don't think that streamers can get distribution access. There's people out there that are like, you're stupid for saying a streamer can get distribution access. Can you kind of explain how that works from time to time?
So from time to time, you do have distros that open up. Not all the time, because they do close down. There is certain points, if you keep checking their websites, that a breaker, you can sign up as a breaker as an online store to Southern Hobby, to PhD, to GTS. Actually, no, GTS, I'm lying. GTS is only brick and mortar for their entire life. Southern, PhD, Alliance, these companies do open up those doors for online retailers. And there are given points where Pokemon is slow. They need more accounts.
Yeah.
No one's ordering. Now, these streamers, these online retailers come in and are able to open accounts, are able to actually get distribution. But there is circumstances that they do face where it's not the same as a brick and mortar. Let's say Joey spends $100,000 to get X amount of allocation. A streamer, an online store, usually would have to spend almost double or triple to get that same allocation as a brick and mortar. I know plenty of streamers with actual distribution. I know plenty of online stores with actual distribution. Do they get big numbers? They get okay numbers. Mm-hmm. Some of them spend as much as me. And then I know how much Prismatic they got. They're like, Joe, how the hell did you get so much Prismatic? I'm like, I own a store. Brick and mortars come first, guys. Believe it or not, brick and mortars do come first. And as much as people hate brick and mortars selling online, that's called adapting to the world we live in today.
Yeah.
Any brick and mortar not selling online, I'm sorry, you're doing something wrong with your business.
What is your perspective on the state of Prismatic Evolutions right now? The pricing on Prismatic Evolutions, what do you think is going to happen? I'll give my opinion. I think we're going to see lots of inventory over time, because Pokemon's already said they're going to be releasing new products for 6 months, and that doesn't even count restocks for the next 2 to 3 years, like we've seen with every single freaking specialty set that's come out for the past 5 years. They have been restocked for years. I think we're gonna see prices go down. I don't know how much, but what do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I would say that's like what was it? The 151 ETBs. They were technically never reprinted. So like there are certain SKUs reprinted to LGSs.
Right.
Maybe to big box. I can't talk for big box stores. I'm talking solely from an LGS point. We never got that extra reprint of 151. Mm-hmm. Big box stores and everyone else, they did.
But there were 151 ETBs and UPCs available at big box stores for months. For MSRP or below, there was probably a 3 or 4 month period where you could get ETBs and UPC, or you could get UPCs for like $90 because nobody wanted them.
Like I said, we didn't get that restock, but they did.
Yeah,
that's a different. We actually had a big UPC restock before an ETB restock. Wild, that was crazy.
Two-pronged question. Why do you think we are where we are with Prismatic as far as incredibly high prices and massive demand and a seemingly short supply? First part of the question. Second part of the question is, what do you think is going to happen long term?
I think we're at where we're at with Prismatic because of the FOMO, because of Surging Sparks. Surging Sparks went crazy, and they got more people into the hobby. Pokemon Pocket got people into the hobby. People love Eevee, and the issue is Umbreon holds this whole big thing that they think Umbreon is going to replicate what Moonbreon did. And I think we're at where we're at because people are seeing Evolving Skies 2.0 here.
Yeah.
And really want to hammer down now and not miss out like they did with Evo Skies. And I also think the allocation issue is playing a big factor. There are stores who got allocated. I know local shops by us who got a quarter of what we got, right? There is some type of mixed allocation issue. I don't know if it's because they're saving it for bundles later on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get that call from Southern. I got 100 cases of Prismatic. You got to take 400 cases of Battle Academies. And I'm going to sit there and cry, but I'm going to take it. But I think that's where we're at. There is a huge allocation issue. I'm not going to lie. I think there's more stores, like you said, signed up to distros. Everyone got to have a little bit of something. And it's not like back in the day where there's only one or two big shops. Now everybody's trying to be a big shop. Second question, where do I think it's going to be? I think it's going to be 12 to 15 a pack, at least for the first week and a half. If there is no reprint, if there is no restock, if there is this unattainable amount of product, I think it shoots to 200 in ETB. If we do get, and that's if you're willing to pay, guys, spend within your means. Do not buy if you don't feel like it's right. I tell you straight up, don't even come to my stream. Do not buy if you feel like the price is too high. Wait, maybe there's a reprint. Don't buy if it's not within the means of your purchase.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody.
Same. I always say I'm totally happy. Like, I want to buy the new cards. I want to have fun. But like being a YouTuber and a dad and a creator, I'm not spending $150 on an ETB. I can buy new gear. I can buy new things. I can upgrade my computer. Yeah, there's other things. And like you said, be an adult. Be an adult. So all right, I interrupted you. Continue with your last point.
You're good. And I think if there is a reprint, no one quote me on this, but I would say it's way later in the year. Here's my logic on that. Don't shoot the messenger. You're backed up on Surge and Sparks. They still haven't got a reprint. You got Journey Together coming out. You got the Team Rocket set coming out. They still got to print. They still got to print these sets in between. Surging needs to get a reprint before Prismatic, and Prismatic is not going to reprint before Surging, and there is no talk about a Surging reprint. I don't know. I think the latest it's going to be, or earliest, after the summer, after the Team Rocket set, after they print, because you know what? If they go to reprint these sets, they're only going to hurt Team Rocket. And between us, I truthfully think Team Rocket will be worse than Prismatic.
I think it's going to be, this whole year is just going to kind of lined up to be insane. I'm totally like preparing myself. It's cool. Here's the thing for me. I'm preparing myself to not open up much of any of it, which is okay. I can live with it. But I'm here to cover it. I'm here for the content and to talk about it. And I was explaining this to you earlier. The way that I learn is I talk about things. And so my job is to make videos talking about stuff. And so it's stupid of me to sit back for 2 or 3 weeks and absorb and then make a video. I would rather make the content, bring it to you guys and talk to y'all and continue to make the content along the way. And then as we're going, say, hey, I have actually learned something. I've actually learned this. Through this whole process, I've learned that it's not just stores being greedy. There's actual other things going on here. There's actual politics, so to speak, things that are happening to cause all of this to go on. And then kind of an outlier, Joey, is you see these streamers get product way before anybody else, weeks before any store has it in hand, and people that have
stolen goods.
Right, exactly. People that are
guys.
400 or 500 ETBs and no LGS has the product yet, and no big box stores are shipping out yet. Yeah, okay. There's only one way you got that. Maybe you didn't steal it, but you paid somebody who shouldn't have been selling it.
I don't condone it.
And that's the flip side to it. We've all seen those streams that were happening in the past few weeks. That is not legitimately obtained. Maybe that person just bought it from someone, but they bought it from somebody that shouldn't have been selling it yet. Exactly. And then you get more FOMO, and then you get more craziness. So in our last minute here, I think when release comes, I think prices are going to go down a little bit because there's just going to be a lot more product out there. available for people to buy. We'll see a huge spike, and then we'll see things go down a little bit, and then probably another spike. But we have tiered releases of this set every month for like the next 4 months. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Joey, thanks for coming on. Let everybody know where they can go and follow you if they want to, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Bhurst Collectors on all platforms, guys. If we're not on TikTok, we're gonna be on Fanatics. We're on Fanatics anyway. Join us for some live rips on Fanatics for Prismatic this week. Remember, guys, it does not ship until release day. We might break it, but we are not shipping it until release day. Yep,
all right.
Always, Dr. Applesauce, thank you so much for having me. And that's that, guys. Peace out. Joey from Bhurst Collectors here.
I want to know your thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below on what you think about what we discussed. I'd love to hear your opinions. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, guys. It's free for you to do that, and it really helps the channel a whole lot. YouTube says you'll like this one next, so go check out that video. And like I always say, my friends, find somebody to love and serve today. Be the change you want to see in the world. See you next time.